Hi, this is Vicky, also known as Dragonfly7673. Today is Tuesday, October 6th, and it is just reaching 6 o'clock. I have a few things to show you. I was feeling at first like I didn't have a lot of progress because since I've been trying to exercise more, which involves walking and stuff like that, it's cutting into my project time a little bit. And then I realized I got plenty done. So it helped that best friend was busy most of the day Saturday. So that meant I got to work on African squares. And then it was busy most of the day Sunday, so I got to put together my amigurumi. So I actually, oh no, well, I don't remember now. Now I don't remember what day I did what. I was trying to remember, I think I finished the squares Friday, maybe. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. So, I might as well get into it. Speaking of African squares, this is still the Crochet Memories Mystery Crochet Along. I don't mention that every time, but this is their Crochet Mystery with, it's going to have 36 squares, 30 designers, and I am doing 2 of each square because, well, apparently I'm crazy. When I started, I had more time and it seemed like, oh, that will be so easy. I'll do 2 each time. They come out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so I'll get 6 done a week. That will make, you know, a nice sizable size African when I'm done. And it will. But sometimes getting them all done feels a little pressure-like, and I realize it's my own. There's nobody making me do this. But now I have a recipient in mind, and I really do need all those squares, and if I get behind, then I feel like even more overwhelmed. At least right now I'm catching up on the weekends. So, we just finished week 7. So these are squares 19, 20, and 21. I don't remember which is which. And I also don't remember what they're called. After a while, they just kind of blur together. I was trying to keep up on my Ravelry page. I'm not, because not all of them are in Ravelry, and then I have to look for them, and then find out they're not there. The main page for the along is there. I do know this one, only because I like the name. This is the Rorschach square, like in psychology. And one of these was Suncatcher. I think it might be this one. I don't actually know. There is a couple of people doing theirs all in solid colors. Those probably go a little faster because you're not changing yarns all the time. This one you're actually supposed to be changing yarns pretty much every time, every couple of rows. But I actually carried my yarn up. So like, you can see it a little bit here and a little bit over here, but on the front you can't see it too much. So I thought I did a good job. Same on this one. So that was good. And then I have something to show you. I think it's on this one. Well, let me post pictures of these real quick. All right. So this one, these spokes in the middle, I'm going to put my finger here. 1, 2, 3. Let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the final one with my finger is 12. That's what they're supposed to be. On this one, there is, I'm going to put my finger here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. There's one extra because I messed up way at the beginning. I actually messed up here, but it's easier to tell in that next row. And I'm bringing this up for a reason. in this square, when I realized it, when I got to, I think it was this area, whenever it was supposed to square off, I realized what I had done, and I was able to fake it somewhere. Now I honestly don't know exactly where I faked it, but somewhere I faked it and got it back square. There's a reason I'm mentioning this. I started the Granny Square cardigan. Now it's a video tutorial, but basically you make a giant granny square, just a square, and then you seam it up just right so it actually ends up into a cardigan. You seam up a couple spots and then it turns into a cardigan. Normally you just do a basic granny square all the way around. I had decided that I wanted to do something more substantial right in the middle, just to give it a little pop. And actually one day, Heather, Toon Andy, and I were emailing back and forth, and I was showing her some of the things I was thinking of. And we actually together picked what my square was going to be, even though I wasn't ready to do it. And I ended up picking a square by Julie Yeager. I actually mentioned her last week because she was one of the square designers for last week. And it is the, oh, I can't think what it's called. It's on my Ravelry page. Projects. It is, oh, it's the Suncatcher Afghan Square. If that's a Suncatcher, then there's a good chance that none of these is called Suncatcher. It is the Suncatcher Afghan Square. It is actually meant to be done as a single square. It was part of a different Afghan along type thing. I'm looking for the main page here. Here's a bunch of the pictures. This is the, it jumped around. Oh. It's meant to be done in multiple colors. But there was somebody that had done it in a solid, and I really liked it because it was substantial, but it still really kept the decoration because it has a lot of layers to it. Anyway, so here's the start of it. Now, this is my second try. Now, remember I said that there was something about this? The reason this is my second try is because this is my first try. And this was actually a full, I was right at the point, it was actually much bigger than this. I ripped out part of it because I had to cut and refasten because it's meant to be done in multiple colors. So there's a couple spots where you can't just slip to the spot you need. You really need to start as if you were starting a new color. Anyway, so I ripped back a bunch of it. I'll show you a picture of what it looked like before. But anyway, this one is wrong. I'm going to hold this again and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on my fingers 9. I spent 4 hours making this. I will show you a picture of where I was at. Yeah, I had actually done a few more rounds of this, and I was on the part where it was actually going to be a square, when I realized that I had an extra point and there was no way it was ever going to be square. This one, I could fake my way out of. That one, there was no way to fake it, and I had to start over again. Because I had to cut the yarn in a couple places, I just ripped back to where it was still on the ball. This is a big skein of yarn. I have another one. This is a CJ Kopek Rosewood colorway, 650 yards of, it says DK or light worsted. So I'm hoping I have enough of it. I believe, I haven't weighed them, but I think they're 8-ounce skeins. Anyway, I had 2 of these in my stash, bought totally different times. The color looks close enough from what I can tell. One I bought at a retreat, and actually I think I bought them both at retreats, but totally different retreats. I didn't realize until I moved and I was trying to get everything kind of re-logged into Ravelry that I had two. On the plus side, it means I should have enough for this cardigan. But anyway, that all being said, ripped it back. And throughout the whole time, I was thinking that it was a little wonky. But I also, if I laid it flat, it kind of flattened out. And I figured, I'll just block the square before I go on to the next part of the cardigan. Never occurred to me that I had an extra point. I was very, very annoyed because I worked on it from about 6 o'clock on Sunday until about 10:30. I mean, we stopped to eat in there in between, but yeah, I was not happy. So, but I started over, and the nice thing is that on the new one, there were some weird directions about where to put stuff, and especially since I'm doing it all in one color, it was a little harder to visualize where exactly I was compared to where it was in the true multicolor. So now the second time, this actually went much faster. I finished this much in 2 episodes of Gotham yesterday. And that's how I measure time sometimes. Anyway, so it will be done. It will be right. And it was a little easier because I already understand the instructions. So it was just frustrating to get that close, because really once I made it a square, there was still maybe 4 or 5 rows to go around, but it was okay. Anyway, so yeah, that is I was just going to show you, I was going to show you what the cardigan looks like, although mine will be different, of course. And there's several of these on the internet. This one's crocheted. There's other ones that are knit, where you basically just knit a giant square. And there are all different kinds of these. I just wanted something that I can, throw on at the office. Because my office gets cold. Not always. Sometimes it's hot. It's very unpredictable. And seems to have nothing to do with what the temperature is outside. Alright, so who wants to know how the Crochet Crowd Mystery Amigurumi turned out? I had told you that I did not know what it was. And this is true, except for shortly after I put up the podcast, I was going through Facebook and accidentally came across a finished picture. I was so upset because I've been trying to be so careful about not peeking ahead and not seeing what it was going to be. But luckily, I thought it was cute, so I was still inclined to finish it. But I can't remember. It must have been Saturday I finished the pieces. But anyway, Sunday, best friend was gone, and I got up when he did. So as soon as he left, I pretty much spread stuff all over the living room. And I ended up making this guy. Well, girl, obviously, because she's got a mama pouch. So we got a little baby kangaroo. And we got mama kangaroo. And the baby kangaroo fits in the pouch or separately. And I really think they're very cute. I had seen previous mystery alongs from Mikey and the Crochet Crowd. I also had seen stuff the designer had done and thought it was good, so I was willing to take a chance, especially because it was only a 4-week crochet along. However, I was really glad that it came out really, really cute. Now, it took a little while to get the legs positioned quite right and stuff, but I just realized there's a piece I didn't trim off. Anyway, but I just thought, cute. So, I have pictures and a little mini video. All right, the little mini video I was taking pictures as I was going along. The color is way off on it because it was chilly outside on Sunday and I wasn't going outside to photograph each piece. Plus the neighbors, I'm pretty sure the neighbors think I'm weird anyway. So I was just doing it on this black leather chair and the color's off, but you could see how it got built up. So anyway, that is my kangaroo. So my other things to discuss that are knitting related, I have, this is from Slip Stitch Studios. It is little tin can, but in it has stitch markers, and they're the kind with the lobster claw, so I can use them for crochet or knitting. But they are, let me see if I can show them in order. Ooh, I dropped one. And of course I dropped the first one I need. All right. Rock. Paper. Scissors. Lizard. Spock. That is from Between the Bazinga and the Rock, Paper, Scissors, Lizard, Spock. Anybody that watches Big Bang will know that that is Sheldon's version of Rock, Paper, Scissors. There is a very in-depth rule for who wins what in Rock, Paper, Scissors, Lizard, Spock. But I thought they were cute. I actually have way too many stitch markers. One of these drawers back here, and I mean this size drawer, if you can see it, is actually almost entirely full of stitch markers. Now granted, they're in containers, a lot of them, but it's a lot of stitch markers. And then in reality, there's only a few I actually use, but these ones I probably will because they're very lightweight and they have the lobster claw on them. I also have she sent a little pin that says, "My cat and I like the same things," and has a cat playing with a ball of yarn. Now my cats don't actually they don't usually play with my yarn. Now I've been having this on the floor and Missy thinks it's fascinating to watch the yarn roll off of it. All right, let me show a picture of those close up. All right, so next thing. This has been something I've been thinking about. And I have like this bucket of unfinished objects. And I know Polly81 had asked about my unfinished objects a while ago and how I stay on track. Well, this is one of those projects that fell off track, but I know why it fell off track. And I've been trying to decide what to do. It is, it's a design by Susan Pandorf. It's a wrap. It has gorgeous cables. It takes a lot of concentration, and I don't mind that part. I love the pattern. I think it's gorgeous. It's squishy. It would be warm. Here's my problem. Every cable is full of cat hair, like embedded into the stitches. And this red shows the cat hair like crazy. And I got so frustrated with it, I set it aside. And it doesn't matter how much I pick at it, there's still more cat hair. I mean, it really bothers me. And Mom helped me buy at a reduced cost with her discount for where she works, all the yarn I needed for this. And so I've been feeling like I should finish it. But I really dislike it. I really dislike the sheer amount of cat hair in it. And when I was trying to like look for stuff for my cardigan, because I got a little worried that maybe this was going to be too lightweight. I don't think so now that I started working on the square. But I initially got worried that it was that I had picked the wrong kind of project for it. I started looking. I'm like, I have, including what's in this, there were 10 balls of this. I still have, I counted 7, I believe, that are brand new, plus this one, which would be 8, and plus whatever I used in here. That's a lot of yarn to just be sitting there for something I don't like. So I think it's going to get repurposed. I don't know yet if I'm going to rip this out because it was a lot of work to put in those cables. But I know I'm never going to use it at this point. I know I'm not going to finish it because I'm so frustrated with the cat hair aspect. And and there is no working on anything without the cats. They think that if I'm podcasting, or if I'm crocheting, or if I'm reading, or if I'm breathing, that they should be near me. So, and for some reason, I mean, honestly, there's cat hair in most things. There's probably cat hair in this guy. There's probably cat hair in this. But for some reason, it just really shows up in that, and it's bad. So, it is going to be repurposed. I'm giving myself the okay that I can use that yarn for something else. I don't know what yet, but it can go back in the stash and doesn't have to be in the UFO bin anymore. So, that's my yarny thing. All right. I think that is it. I'm going to start another, comfort shawl eventually. So I did buy, Joann Fabrics had a sale on, yarn. So I actually got it a while back. I just forgot to show you. I actually got homespun, which I don't really like homespun, but that's what the comfort shawl people prefer. I got homespun for like 40% off, or I had maybe I had a 40% off anything coupon. I think that was it. I think I had one of those rare coupons, so I could pick it anyway. So I got, I think 3 each of these 2 colors. This one's a solid charcoal gray, and this one's a gray with pink. It is called Gemstone Stripes. According to the picture, it should stripe. I think it's like a long gradual thing, but anyway. And then this one's just solid. They call it Edwardian. I call it charcoal gray. But anyway, I got those a while back, and I will be starting a comfort shawl. I have to decide what kind I want to do. The last one I did, I purposely did it kind of unisex, so I did a rectangle wrap so that it could be used for the min as well. But this one's got the pink, so I don't know. I'll decide later. Whenever I do homespun, I try and do something where you don't have to work in the stitch itself, but instead you have open spaces, because that's the only way I can deal with homespun. All right, that is all for yarny stuff, except for there are 3 people who have not contacted me about winning for the Summer of Fearless Knitting. So Catherine got a hold of me, but I'm trying to remember who the other ones were. Kaner, Crouching Cheese, and Polly81. You should go watch the last episode. Anyway, yeah, that is it for yarny stuff. I will flip over to some healthy stuff. So if you're not going to watch the healthy stuff, I will say goodbye. All right, so last time I told you guys and shared about my underwear issues, which I was happy. There were actually several people that emailed me and totally understood. And I actually talked to the personal trainer this week about it. And she said, oh yeah. And I mean, she's a personal trainer. She does this for a living. She is in good shape. I think she's in her late 20s. I mean, and she knew exactly what I was talking about. She's like, yeah, she's like, some underwear is just horrible for trying to exercise or move in or do a lot of walking. So Mom, after watching the episode, sent me a link to a blog that was talking about underwear for doing like hiking, figuring it was like big girls hiking or big girls travel or something like that. Basically the same issue. So I didn't find anything in that post, but it led me to start looking at some different sites, and I found one of the sites they recommended was Juno Activewear. Now, I didn't pick the underwear that the blogger was recommending. However, while I was there, I found that they had some long briefs, long as in either mid-thigh or almost to the knee, and they're seamless. So I bought 2 pairs, one of each length. I have not tried them yet. I got them, but I'm waiting for a little bit of a heavy walking day. So tomorrow, I know I'll be walking with, I have a walking meeting. I haven't had any this week. It's been a goofy week. I was supposed to have one today, but the employee is on a work trip. So I did walk today. I'll tell that in a minute. But anyway, it was not that heavy hour-long walk. So I have one tomorrow, and on Thursday I actually have 2 meetings in one day. One in the morning and one in the afternoon. So I'm going to try these pairs of underwear, and I will give feedback back. They are expensive. They're $30 a pair, so I wasn't buying a lot unless they work. And when I'm truly exercising, I usually can deal with that. This is really for that. I'm still in my dress clothes. I'm walking with an employee. It's that weird, because I mean, we're booking it. We usually put in, with most of my employees, we put in at least 3 miles or around 3 miles. So we're getting some decent mileage in. Anyway, so I will report back, but I did find some underwear, I think. So today, because one of my goals is to, during the week, to meet my walking goal. Now, I told you guys my goal had been 6,500 and that I was going to change it. On Monday, I changed it to 7,000. As I said, I'm only moving it in increments of 500 because 500 steps by itself doesn't sound like a lot. 500 steps, if you're trying, can be a couple extra trips to the bathroom. It can be a quick walk around the block, whatever. Whereas jumping and saying I have to do 10,000 steps is way too much, especially on the days when I don't have a walk built in. Yesterday was a day I didn't have a walk built in. I ended up actually having enough steps just from general movement around the day, but then best friend and I also went for a almost 2.5 mile walk last evening. And then today there's some books I'm supposed to read for work, and I have a terrible time reading books for work on my off hours. And at the same time, it's hard to schedule that time into a work day because you're reading. So I decided on a couple of the books, there are Audible versions. So I decided to download Audible versions, and today I listened to the first half hour of one of the books I want to read for work, and I listened to it while I walked the track, and I got 2 miles of walking in 35 minutes, and I got a good chunk of my book read. So I was kind of happy with that idea. Last week, as I just said, I walk 3 miles most times I have walking meetings. I mean, that is a normal thing. Last week, on Wednesday, I knew that I wouldn't have any time to walk during the day. And part of that was because on Wednesday evening, I was going to get my hair cut. And I told you guys I didn't really want to get sweaty before my haircut because I didn't want to hear about it. So we planned to walk after work. I forgot my shoes at work. So I decided, well, I've got a backup pair of tennis shoes at home. They're these Skechers that I had before. Now, a while back, Skechers had some that had like a rocker built in. They were supposed to, enhance your calves and make your butt better, whatever. They were the only ones I had here at home. I was like, okay, well, I don't normally wear them because they're not super comfortable, but I'll put them on. I had forgotten how uncomfortable they were, especially compared to the fact that I now have good shoes that fit. These shoes, first of all, I twisted my ankle. Not like sprained it, but I twisted it. I twisted the left ankle. I tweaked the right knee. Not even all in the same motion, separately on this walk. Because of the rocker, I actually kind of fell off. Best friend actually found out later. Well, he had told me a while ago that they had done research that these shoes aren't really that good for you. But at this point, they were in my emergency pair, so I just didn't think that much of it. And I got the hugest blister. On my right foot, I have a blister that is larger than a nickel. It is close to quarter size. And on the other one, I've got a decent size one too. We walked for 3 miles and I complained for 2.5 of them. And if I had to wear those shoes all the time, I would never get my walking in. I'm pretty sure that's why I never got it in before. We got home. We got in the driveway. I took my shoes off in the driveway and threw them in the trash barrel in the garage. To go out to the curb that night. So best friend said, your other shoes are wearing down. How about we go get new shoes and your old shoes can be your new backup. So I got new shoes, and there's a running store here that I actually got the shoes originally to do Couch to 5K last year, but it's called Performance Running Outfitters, and they actually they videotape your gait, and they help you find the best shoe that keeps you in alignment. And we actually looked at the bottom of my best friend and I did, because he used to sell shoes years ago. So he was looking at the bottom of my shoes, because I was telling him, I'm like, I don't think there's I was trying to remember. I'm like, I don't think there's a distinct wear pattern on the bottom of my shoes. And he's like, well, we can look later. So we looked later, and sure enough, there's a little bit on the heel, but not much. They're wearing very evenly, which means they're the right shoes for me. Anyway, we walked into Performance Outfitters. Now I said it wrong. Whatever I said the first time, I'm pretty sure was right, but now I'm getting myself mixed up. Anyway, Performance Running Outfitters, I think. Anyway, I walked in and said, whatever shoes you sold me last year, I want the same ones. So it was a newer version because it was the 2015 version. So they're a different color, but other than that, they're basically the same. They feel the same. My feet are much happier, except for the fact that the blisters are still healing. So if you are finding running very uncomfortable, try better shoes. Because if I was wearing those other shoes, I would not be getting the walking in I'm doing now. It just wouldn't happen. So anyway, but I now have new shoes. Got new underwear. Whee! And new socks. I also got socks. It was a very exciting week. Everybody else gets packages in the mail of toys and X-Wing stuff, and I get socks and underwear, and I got new shoes. But it's a good thing. Other than that, seems to be going well. I'm tracking my food. I'm moving. I'm drinking my water. It's too soon to really even judge weight loss or anything like that, so I'm not going to worry about it. I did do some new exercises with the personal trainer, and my thighs are killing me today. She had me do side planks, which really hurt while I was doing them, and I thought that was the part of my leg that was going to be really hurting today, but it's not. It's the top of my thigh, and I was trying to remember what I did, and then I was like, oh yeah, we did wall squats, where you have a big exercise ball behind you, and you squat, and then you bring yourself back up, and you squat, you bring yourself back up. And that actually, it made me sore while I was doing it, but it didn't register as something hard. But that's what's hurting today. So, we're building in some workout time into our schedule, because I'm struggling to do the workout here at home, even though I have all of the things I need to do it at home if I need to. But it just doesn't really get done. So we built in workout time at work at the fitness center. So, all right, that's everything. I feel like I had more like fitness health stuff than I did knitting stuff, and I'm apologizing for that. But like I said, the extra walking, like walking last night and stuff like that, means that's time I'm not crocheting, so, or knitting or anything else. I will see you guys all next time. I think the healthy stuff should go down just because it won't be new anymore. So right now I feel like I have a new thing to tell you, but that should die down. I'll see you guys all next week. Bye now.